Hey there, welcome back to my channel. We are ready for our next study in Ruth, and first of all, I just want to apologize for not having a video up last week. It just got super busy. The week got away from me and I did not get around to it. So here we are. I want to finish out this study in the book of Ruth because we started it on YouTube here, so I want to finish it out here. But I wanted to also give a little life update and just let you know that my YouTube channel at this time will probably not be a consistent scheduled posting. I'm just going to probably do it kind of whenever I get a chance because yeah, life is busy, life is crazy. If you don't know, I have a business that I do online, and then I also just started thrifting and reselling, so that takes up some of my time too. And while I do love doing YouTube videos and giving you content here, it just takes a lot of time to film things, and right now I just do it on my phone, so it also takes up a lot of storage that I don't have currently. So if I want to continue doing like day in the life videos, things like that, I'm going to have to figure something out, a different way to film where I have more storage space. So that's kind of where we're at right now with the YouTube channel. I will still continue to do these Book of Ruth studies as much as I can, hopefully once a week, but we'll see if that happens. Anyway, we are ready to dive into Ruth 1, chapter 1, verses 7 through 14. It's talking about covenant love, and I'm just going to start out by reading those verses. With her 2 daughters-in-law, she left the place where she had been living and set out on the road that would take them back to the land of Judah. Then Naomi said to her 2 daughters-in-law, "Go back, each of you, to your mother's home. May the Lord show kindness to you, as you have shown to your dead and to me. May the Lord grant that each of you will find rest in the home of another husband." Then she kissed them, and they wept aloud and said to her, "Well, we will go back with you to your people." But Naomi said, "Return home, my daughters. Why would you come with me? Am I going to have any more sons who could become your husbands? Return home, my daughters. I am too old to have another husband. Even if I thought there was still hope for me, even if I had a husband tonight and then gave birth to sons, would you wait until they grew up? Would you remain unmarried for them? No, my daughters, it is more bitter for me than for you, because the Lord's hand has gone out against you, against me." At this they wept again. Then Orpah kissed her mother-in-law goodbye, but Ruth clung to her. So talking about Naomi leaving the land where they had been living, and she was going to return back to, where was it? Bethlehem, I think. Anyway, she wanted her daughters to go back to their land because that's where, or her daughter-in-laws, that's where they had grown up, and she wanted them to go back and stay there instead of coming with her. And we all know the story that Orpah went back, but Ruth stayed with her and went on to Bethlehem with Naomi. It says, "His love is powerful and strong and able to redeem anyone." I'm just going to read the devotional type of thing that goes with those verses, and then we'll have a few questions to answer at the end. Naomi has now heard of God visiting his people and giving food after the famine. God has decided to return to Bethlehem and to her God. Orpah and Ruth are determined to go with her, but Naomi pleads with them to stay. She wants them to have a good life, and staying would be the easier choice. Naomi asks God to deal kindly with them, and here we find the Hebrew word hesed. This is God's rich covenant love for his people. It is his steadfast love, mercy, and grace poured out on his people. Naomi's use of the word in reference to women who were not Israelites is peculiar and powerful. She knew that God could pour out his grace on these people, on these women, even though they were not Israelites. His love is powerful and strong and able to redeem anyone. Staying in Moab seemed like the easier choice, and Naomi was well aware of all that came along with being a woman in a foreign land. Orpah would make the sensible choice and decide to stay. She chose logic over love and followed the wisdom of the world as she returned to her family and the land of Moab. But verse 14 tells us that Ruth clung to Naomi. This is speaking of covenant commitment, and the Hebrew word is the same word used to describe the marriage commitment in Genesis 2:24. The word is also used in the relationship of Israel to God, such as in Deuteronomy 13:4. In the context of God's people holding fast to Him, Ruth was committed to Naomi, and soon we will see that she was committed to Yahweh as well. This life is full of choices. We can allow God to the unknown, or we can follow ourselves in the world's wisdom without Him. Following the world may seem like the easier choice, but it is never in the long run. Naomi pleaded that she had no son for them to marry, and then proclaimed that God's land had gone out against her. Naomi wanted God to hesed Orpah and Ruth, but it seems that she feared that He would not hesed her. Yet His everlasting love reached out to her in the fields of Moab. We have never run too far that His hesed love does not call us to return. Naomi could not see past her circumstances and her past, and she had no idea that God was already working for her good. God is not against us, He is for us. Our circumstances may cloud our ability to see that, but we can cling to that truth. God would use even her mistakes for her good. We must remember as we read Scripture that these are real people with real emotions, facing real circumstances with a very real God. Naomi faced both faith and doubt in her life. She was a real person, just like us, and her God would prove real in her situation. So will we follow God to the unknown? Will we trust that His way is best? We can rest secure in His steadfast love and know that His hesed love will never let us go. God is not against us, He is for us. Our circumstances may cloud our ability to see that, but we can cling to that truth. That is such a good reminder that no matter the circumstance, no matter where we go, God is always there. And we can always trust that His way is best. And even when it feels like it's easier to follow the world instead of standing up for what's right and following God, in the long run, following the world is not the easier choice. Okay, so we have the 3 questions. I will read them off, but I will also have them in the description box below for you to write off and answer for yourselves. The first question is, what choices sometimes feel easier than following God? What choices sometimes feel easier than following God? Question number 2, in what area of life are you choosing today to trust God? In what area of life are you choosing today to trust God? And the last question, how have you seen God's steadfast love in your life? How have you seen God's steadfast love in your life? Those are very good questions to reflect on. That is all for today. I hope everything made sense. I would love to hear your thoughts on those specific verses. Here we have Micah. I'm going to let you all go. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.